Hey, there we go. Should be live now. Should be have music coming through. Welcome to Battlesnake Fall League preview show. I'm gonna get Aurora on here. She gives me a thumbs up. Ready to go? Yeah. All right. There we go.
Bam! I just feel I have to. Hi, Brad.
Hey, Aurora. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so fun. It's fun to be on stream again. I had to take a moment and be like, how do I set this up again? But I feel good now that we're here.
Yeah, it's like it feels like home, right? This is cozy. This is our cozy spot. Nessa Graf says hi, Braf. Hi, Nessa Graf.
Close enough.
Get the music going a little bit louder. Is that too loud for you, Aurora?
No, this sounds good. And yeah, I'm ready to adapt Braf. Like, I think this is a thing. This is what I like about streaming too, is it gives us new Battlesnake slang. I love the right thing, obviously. But Braf, yeah.
Braf and Aurora. That's the new
Aurora, yeah.
The new meta. Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about everything and all things Fall League. Yeah. We'll get the banner up on the screen.
Woo.
Battlesnake Fall League.
The beautiful Fall League. Shout out to Darcy for this lovely autumn-esque artwork. The colors make me feel happy.
There we go. We got a footer and everything. Yeah. Darcy did a great job as always. If you don't know, Darcy's our designer, like the official. There's a couple other folks that help us out on design with like posters and images and everything. But Darcy kind of leads the charge. Darcy and Rachel. We should also mention Rachel in that.
Oh yeah.
She's also amazing. Let me get screen share going. Let's do this one.
Woo.
Yeah. Extagon says artwork is always on point. It really is. It really, really, really is. And it's one of our favorite things about leagues in particular because we get to have a lot of fun with the artwork. Make this a little bit bigger. There we go.
Nice. Good and beginning there.
Yeah. All right. Darcy Snake. Is that Darcy? Is Darcy's chat name Darcy Snake?
I think Darcy's chat is Darcy Snake. Yeah.
I kind of love it. Hey, Darcy. Yeah, we should talk about team members a little bit. We had we're not going to talk too much about this on stream, but we had a big announcement last week. We raised a bit of funding and basically, guaranteed that Battlesnake can stick around for quite a while now, which we're really happy about. But it also means that folks like Darcy and Rachel can be helping us with design for the foreseeable future. We also brought on 2 new full-time team members who will probably show up on stream at some point.
Yes.
But you might see them in chat. We have Rob helping us out on the game engine, and you'll see Rob in the GitHub repo and in various open source projects. And we also have Sherry helping us out on the front end and the board. And she's got a lot of fun sort of like board and game facing things that she's going to start working on. So you'll see them around. You'll see their names show up in different contexts. If you see them, say hi. Yeah, Sherry's there in chat. Hey, Sherry. It was your first league stream. This is exciting. Yeah, so you'll see new names come out of that. And so make sure to say hi. We also, before I do, I should actually remove my screen share. We should talk about the posters. You want to talk about the posters?
Oh, heck yeah. Speaking of fabulous artwork, I believe this is Joe's fault. And when I say it's Joe's fault, I mean it in the most positive way possible, because Joe's accidents are always brilliant. This KG poster, just let's just appreciate this in its full glory. This is lovely. This is fantastic. Battlesnake is the best company to work for because of our fabulous artwork, and this is just a really great moment. So please send a shout out to Joe next time he's on stream. Thank him for getting the ball rolling on this fabulous poster, available in the Battlesnake store, should you want to adorn your own walls with this lovely artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop, I also want to shout out Corey Danks, who did the artwork for us. I'll put Corey's Twitter in chat. And also I'll link the store. Maybe you can link the store if you have the URL there.
Just direct link straight to the poster. You could buy other Battlesnake swag, but today this is the swag to get.
There's a couple Easter eggs in here too. Like if you we won't give them all away, but the waterfront that you see here is recognizable for a couple different reasons. If you've ever been to Victoria, you'll see some things, or if you've ever watched high level Battlesnake play, there are also some nice Easter eggs in there that you should be able to hunt out and pick up on. This is also one of the things that we're really excited to do more of in terms of art. There's so much awesome art that comes out of the community through like Joe working with Corey on this one, or other folks that we know that want to do things like custom heads and tails, and other sort of custom design and custom artwork. So I think one of the things we're going to try to do more, maybe not with this league, but starting probably next year, is have more feature artists for Battlesnake related things. So we might be looking at variations on logos, variations on swag, but there's so many cool people out there in the community that have artistic talents that I definitely don't, and put so many cool things forward. So we want to just do a better job of featuring them. So this is sort of step one in that direction.
Yeah, I feel like it's part of the journey of Battlesnake too, right? Like you start and you're like, oh, okay, I get to like maybe learn a new programming language, and like maybe I'll build a Battlesnake. And then you start unpacking it, and we're like, oh snap, I can learn a new deployment process. I can learn testing techniques. I can learn monitoring, and it doesn't just have to be code. Art is a beautiful Battlesnake expression.
And backstories, and like there's a whole artistic meta to Battlesnake that if you dig deep enough, it's there and it's amazing. Is there anything else we should talk about that isn't directly related to Fall League?
Not directly related to Fall League. Oof.
Right.
Oof. I mean, I guess that's a good open floor question. If there's something you feel we've neglected, it's been a while since we've been on stream.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah. If you haven't been watching, Joe and Kevin are back with Coding Badly. I think they had an episode last week and they had an episode the week before. They had an epic, I think it was Joe, Kevin, and Penelope were coding a Battlesnake purely in Bash. Like Bash.
Bless them. Bless their little hearts.
If you haven't seen that, it's probably the greatest episode of Coding Badly ever produced. And that's me, also downplaying all the ones that I was on as well. Yeah, so definitely check that out. And then we'll be on stream for the rest of the year every Thursday afternoon. So in this time slot, we'll be here. It'll be myself, it'll be Joe, it'll be Aurora, it'll be Andrew sometimes. We might have rotating guests. We might get Darcy back on. But basically 1 p.m. Pacific every Thursday going forward. We'll be online. We'll be on Twitch. We'll be talking with y'all.
Yeah. Should I can bring up the schedule real quick if we want to just quickly.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pop this up. I merged this later, so we had a direct link that just like hard embedded the Google Cal for you. But now we've got a visualization too here. So if you check this out, this should adjust for time zone as well. So right now it's in Pacific time, which is my view. But you can see us yellow hang out in code. Let me scroll up here above the fold. I've got a deep learning next week. So deep learning's coming back. I'm going to be doing a talk with a Spring League competitor, actually, who had a very interesting life cycle in that they kind of like joined in the last week and won gold for Spring League. So we're going to be chatting on that.
Is that that's Austin? I think
that is Austin. Yeah. So Austin will be coming in and chatting. So looking forward to that. And then moving into October, we see our Snake Pit lives and our weekly Thursday streams, as Brad mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, we should talk about that as well. Snake Pit Live kicks off with Fall League. It's Fall League related content, but not necessarily directly. It's not a requirement. If you want to participate in Fall League, you don't have to watch Snake Pit Live, but if you want to, there are more prizes, there's more fun, there's more hijinks to be had. And they start not this Saturday, but I believe next Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific here on Twitch. And that'll feature the full casting crew with Curtis and Chris and Aileen and Joe. I don't know if they're doing houses again. I have no idea what's going on with the casters. They do their own thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. You'll have to tune in and watch.
Sweet. But yeah, that's what's upcoming. That's on the community calendar. Check it out, subscribe, make it your primary calendar. You know what to do.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Fall League.
Oh, yes. I can't believe it starts tomorrow. Brad.
We'll be up to yeah. Battlesnake official. That's the Battlesnake official is currently Chris, our producer, our person in the booth, if you will, says that SPL Snake Pit Live will be up to some kind of BS. Yeah, always. Extragon says the fact that you added the Google Calendar integration makes this so easy. Yeah, that's what's funny about that is that literally is how we have it internally. We just published an already existing Google Calendar that had all our streams on it. So that was an easy way to do it. And we can, like, Aurora has huge, massive plans to take that to another level as well. And we can do more interesting things with the schedule stuff. Okay, let's talk about Fall League. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. We've published everything we're going to talk about right now today for Fall League Kickoff is already published on the blog. So if you go to blog.battlesnake.com, you'll go here, you'll see this. There's this whole Fall League competitions and tournament details. This will have everything that we're going to talk about, everything you need to know to participate and compete in Fall League 2021. This is a new approach. We typically try to give most of our information during the stream, but we're starting to realize that not everyone can catch every stream, and a lot of folks watch VODs, but also there's a lot of folks that participate that aren't watching the VODs either. And so we're trying to be better about putting content into longer form and written form so that folks can share it easier and link to it later. So you'll find everything we're going to talk about here on the competition tournament details blog post, and we will also update this with little edit notes as things change, if things change, and they likely will to some extent because there's always small tweaks we're going to make. But this will be the sort of source of truth, if you will, for everything Fall League. So let's talk about schedule. So today is September 23rd. Tomorrow, September 24th, League opens and ladder matches begin. This is when progression starts. You're going to start getting matches made within the arena or within the ladder leagues, the league ladder. And I believe this starts at noon Pacific. So noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what that is. UTC would be like 10
We
o'clock.
are -7 UTC right now.
7. If it's noon Pacific, then 7 p.m. UTC.
Oh, we are -7, so it's like. I guess noon plus. Yeah. Okay. I got this. Time, it's fine. Measuring time is something I'm very comfortable with.
That's why we have computers to do this stuff for us.
Yeah.
So that's the important thing you need to know right now. The ladder games will freeze on November 12th. So this is an important note, and we'll talk about this more later. But the competitive ladder finishes and finalizes on November 12th. It will probably also be noon Pacific, but I'll make a note and we'll get exact times posted here as well.
This I'm certain of. It is definitely noon Pacific, but because Pacific is going through daylight savings, it'll be -8 UTC at that point. Yeah.
To just make things extra complicated.
Whatever. If you pull the calendar, subscribe that in. It's in there. Just,
nice.
Use that. Rely on that.
Nice. I like it. What a callback.
Yeah.
So November 12th, that is a Friday. November 13th, we'll talk about this later, but there's going to be 2 live broadcasts that cover the tournament. One's going to be on November 13th. One's going to be on November 20th. That's going to be in the Snake Pit Live time slot, 10 a.m. Pacific, and it'll be the full Battlesnake casting crew. Chillcoat says, can we get times in UTC? Yeah, 100%. We will put UTC, Pacific, and Eastern times up on the blog. Nessagraph says time zones are always a program.
Yeah, this is like anyone who's worked with me before knows that like to get Aurora on a rant is just talking about time and measuring time. I've worked on scientific instruments where microseconds mattered, and it just becomes a freaking nightmare. And my unpopular opinion is that the whole world should convert to UTC. Just no more time zones, no more time zones. This is the team I'm on.
Yeah, I mean, what if we were the first? What if we started a movement right here, right now, Aurora? And we're just like Battlesnake happens in UTC. Period.
Yeah. Just
all of us just start sleeping on UTC time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't need it to be noon to know the sun is in the middle of the sky, right? You know, it's fine. I can figure it out. It'll be fine. And I mean, personal shout out to the open source maintainers who keep all of our underlying time management libraries alive. You're the unsung heroes of the world.
Absolutely. They allow us to complain, which is which is the best part. I also, while we're here, I want to call out Chailcoats. Thanks for showing up. Chailcoats has been coding their Battlesnake dev recently online on Twitch. I've caught a couple streams. I know a couple of our team members have caught a couple streams as well. Always love seeing Battlesnake Journeys live. It's a ton of fun for us. It's a ton of fun for the community as well. So thanks so much for doing that. And also Ectagon has been streaming a little bit lately as well, looking at improving Chatsnack. So there's always lots of like amazing, awesome folks building Battlesnake. Some of them are doing it live. Some of them are recording videos for YouTube, and some of them are just showing up in Discord. So definitely watch us, but also watch everyone else who's doing things related to Battlesnake, because sometimes and more often times it's much more entertaining than ourselves. Yeah, so thanks so much. Okay, so that's the schedule. Everything kicks off tomorrow, noon Pacific. The ladder freezes November 12th, and then November 13th and 20th will be the final tournaments. We'll talk about how that breaks down later on. Additional technical and scoring transparency. This is a long-winded way of saying that like we're trying to be better about getting information out to everyone who's participating, not just folks who catch streams or catch the VODs on YouTube. So we're trying to be better with email communication, Discord communication, putting things in writing, putting them on the blog, making them referenceable. And so you'll see, hopefully throughout the league, we're going to be referencing more written and more long-form content. And if you have ideas for how we can do better on this front, definitely let us know. And we'd love to. This is something that we know that we need to improve on, especially if we want to grow the community. Chael says, I came here from the email. Awesome. That's awesome. That's good to know. That's super good to know. We know those emails, we're never really sure if it's too much or too little. Like, it's kind of a hard line to walk. So that's definitely amazing to hear.
Yeah. Oh, and thanks, Nessagra, for those gifting subs. Thank you. That's the encouragement we need.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about game modes. So, Fall League, games start tomorrow. It's going to be competitive royale. Let's go through a little bit of the history. Spring League this year, we introduced an experimental royale ladder. And then I think we had 1v1 was the primary competitive ladder in spring. And we really liked 1v1, but Royale was very interesting and very fun to watch. And we think that there's something unique about Royale that kind of does two things. One, it increases the complexity of playing the game and writing, creating and developing a Battlesnake. But it also is fairly approachable to watch. Like, it's not, Royale Hazard Sauce is not a crazy mechanic. Most folks who pay attention and watch can understand it and pick it up really quickly. So it's not like we're introducing crazy game mechanics. So we really like Royale as a competitive mode. The casters love it. They love the drama of it. And so we're going to stick with Royale for Fall League. We do want to add, the entire team wants to kind of add a sub point to that and say we are committed to the idea of other game modes, especially in high-level competitive play. We just want to really nail the Royale case first and make sure that we're happy with sort of the league format, and we want to figure out new ways to incorporate other game modes into what we're doing. So stay tuned for that, but we just want to say, we're not giving up on the idea of parallel ladders or different ladders as well. We really just want to make sure that the progression system and the tournament play is in a place where we like it first. And then Royale game settings, this is pretty standard. If you played Royale, if you participated in League before, you'll this will make sense. But there's 4 Battlesnakes per game, so every game in both the ladder and the tournament will have four Battlesnakes playing. Standard 500 millisecond timeout, so we're not touching the timeout this time around. Moving in hazards is going to cost you 15 health total. I'll talk about that in a second. And the hazards are going to expand every 20 turns. So my understanding is that this is very similar to what we were doing in Summer League. There's not many changes there. There are 2 things worth noting that changes that we made to Royale mode in the last 6 weeks or so. Mm-hmm. And these are more quality of life. We think of these as like quality of life updates. I don't know if I can. What I'll do is I'll link this blog post I'll talk about them, but I'll also link the blog post, and everyone watching can go read it themselves. Extagon says, "Are the rule details like changes in health costs locked in for this tournament? Should we still be watching for they'll be locked in for this tournament? So we're not going to change them throughout the course of the Fall League. They may change between Fall League and Winter Classic, so stay tuned for how that's going to play out. But that's a later discussion." I do want to talk about the two things that the two quality of life changes. One is that if you eat food in a hazard, it used to be that your health went all the way up to 100, and then you lost 15 health immediately on the same turn because the hazard damage was applied. Rob has actually gone in and changed the order of operations on that, so that now if you eat food in a hazard, you will have 100 health on the next turn always. So we're giving people a little bit more buffer, a little bit more time to play in the hazard sauce, which we like. And the other quality of life change we made is that it used to be that you would lose 15 health for being in the hazard, and then you would also lose 1 health on every turn. So your total health lost per turn was actually 16 if you were in a hazard and not 15, where you might code against it being 15 or expected to be 15. So we've actually changed that. So now it's going to be the way it's actually coded is hazard does 14 damage, or hazard moving in hazard costs you 14 health, and then the move itself costs you an additional 1. So you'll see that show up in the settings config that gets passed in along in the game requests, but mostly just quality of life things. We don't expect this to impact gameplay at all, except maybe extend the length of some games or extend the ability for some Battlesnakes to spend a little bit longer in the hazard sauce.
Which is for everyone's benefit, because that's the most thrilling part, right? You know, getting some deep dives in the sauce is what makes watching Royale so fun. So,
what's the thing that Chris says? Is a cruise? You can take a cruise cruise.
Yeah.
Through the hazard sauce. Oddwire says Extagon for any rules. Yeah, that's I believe Oddwire is Rob in the chat, and so be able to answer questions directly as well.
Yeah. There's a whole. I mean, if you were diligent, and this is explained in the blog post as well. But if you're diligent watching the rules repo, lots of little like data improvements and information being sent back and forth, so you can get some of these fine-tuned details, as well as docs.battlesnake.com have been updated with these rules. And some of them are modifications, and some of them are just explicitly surfacing things that were not explicitly spelled out before. So we're on that.
I believe also like this 15 value is now available in the API call. So you can now soft code that value in your algorithm if you wanted to. I believe hazard expansion is also available in the payload. So you can now, you'll now know, instead of just assuming that every Royale game is a 20-turn expansion, you can now soft code that and take that into consideration as well. This is some of the hard work that Rob has been doing to kind of formalize some of these game modes, because things like Royale, like I don't know if this is talked about enough, but like Royale as a game mode came together with like Chris and I just screwing around for a week to see if we could come up with something that was fun, and we really liked how Royale played out. But there's all these like little quality of life things that we never got to on the original release.
Ooh, random Royale question. If you're traveling through the hazard sauce, do you take 15 damage per segment, or just 15 if any or all end are in the sauce? It's actually just the head, if I recall correctly. So just the head segment takes damage. So once your head is out of the sauce, you are good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just it's every turn in which your head finishes the turn in hazard sauce, you will take the additional damage. Otherwise, like length, then the calculations become really hard.
Oh man, like what if you're out of the sauce and your tail is just in, but then you eat? That just becomes really uncomfortable. So let's not do it that way.
Yeah. It's funny because like we called it sauce, but it wasn't originally built as sauce. I think we called it like out of bounds or something, and it was supposed to be like gas or like poisonous, like whatever standard battle royale mechanic is, right?
Just like smoke, I don't know.
Yeah, like encroaching lightning smoke, right? Which is like the PUBG thing. I don't know what Fortnite does, but something along those lines. And then I don't even know how we got to sauce, but somehow it's now converted into hazard sauce.
I mean, it works with the whole like Battlesnake danger noodle sauce reference. I don't know. It works for me. It works for me.
This is a good moment to shout out that you can buy hazard sauce stickers.
Yes.
in the store somewhere.
Hexagon is remembering. I think I recall too. It was just make it live and hold to name the hazard. I think it was the right choice personally.
100%. Chris says SPL generates most of our memes and then somehow comes back into the code. Yeah, exactly. What I'm hearing is it's all Curtis's fault. That's the takeaway here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about ladder scoring system updates. So this is new-ish. The mechanics are sort of the same, but we're making small tweaks and small iterations on the ladder progression throughout Fall League. So it's similar to Summer in that it's a fixed point system for wins and losses. The difference that we're making this time around is you will lose different amounts of points based on your placement in the game. And so this is something that we went back and forth on a lot over Summer League, and we decided to just make it fixed across all positions, and ultimately came around after we sort of did our retro on Summer League and Summer League progression and scoring, ultimately came around and decided that we do actually want to give more recognition to Battlesnakes that are repeatedly in second place, especially in highly competitive. I think this doesn't matter so much in the lower tiers, but at the competitive tier, if you are top 4, it's really hard to differentiate like who top 2 is versus like who's second place versus fourth place. You're all just kind of like messing around together in the top 4 and moving around. And so we really want to start differentiating that. So we're going to start assigning different point losses based on whether you were second, third, or fourth out in the game. What I don't know is what happens if you tie, like if two things go out on at the same turn. Maybe Chris can clarify that one for us, but we should get a clarification here as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember.
So an example of this would be if you are in bronze. We'll use bronze as an example. If you are in Bronze League and you come in first, you win a game, you're going to gain 10 points in the ladder. If you lose but you come in second, you're going to lose 2 points. If you lose but you come in third, you're going to lose 3 points. Chris says tie games are not scored, but what if second and third tie is the interesting thing. Someone still wins, but how do you differentiate between who got second and who got third? And then if you come in fourth, you'll lose 3 points. And so the point inflation value here is like we understand that we're injecting 2 points into the system per game, and that's kind of what we want at the bronze tier and silver tiers. We want general progression to happen as long as you're playing games successfully, and you're winning at sort of an average-ish rate. Then we want people to progress into silver tiers and gold tiers, and then gold, platinum, and elite all work on a zero-sum system. So for every game, we're putting 10 points into the system. We're taking 10 points away or giving 10 points to the winner, taking 10 points from the losers. And so that's where true competitive Battlesnake kicks in, is sort of at the gold mode. It is very much an accomplishment to reach bronze or silver. And then it gets even more difficult to compete at a gold plus level. Chris says in that case the two snakes will get the same score, likely get the value of the second place and last. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was thinking. So I assumed that if you tie for second and third, then both of those snakes will be assigned to the second place scoring for that particular game. Hexagon sounds like a problem. Yeah.
Oh no, I almost came third, but I actually got second place points. Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. There's so many edge cases. I feel like our learning progression across the leagues is so interesting, because when we did spring and our primary league was duels, like the scoring that works for 1v1 games is very different from like what's most effective for these like 4v games in Royale. So yeah. This has been a fun like iteration and development, and like the subtle complexity that's in here is very interesting. So thanks for experimenting with us all and for going through and being very welcome to these iterations as we go through these changes on the ladder.
And also, like, I know that I speak for Chris and the rest of the team as well. Like, this might be a terrible this might be a terrible way to do this, and we're not oblivious to that. We think that this is a good iteration to make, but we're always willing to roll back things that aren't working.
Yeah.
And so we want to hear from you. We want to hear from the community as things progress, and obviously we'll be watching things very, very closely.
Yeah,
failure is always an option.
Yeah, if Battlesnake isn't the epitome of where you take risks in code, I don't know what is, right? We're just playing a different type of Battlesnake.
We're playing a different game.
Yeah. The rest of you are all running bash snakes, and we're just trying to, figure out scoring, taking risks there.
As it says, sounds complicated. How do you work this out? Was it backtested on previous games? Yes.
I mean, I almost don't want to say too much because, I'm putting this in my back pocket. I've gotten Chris to agree we should do a deep learning on this and talk about, the simulations and the thought processes and the mistakes and the weird research we've done, too. So,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we do a lot of spreadsheeting, we do a lot of scripting, we do a lot of simulation, and we also have a ton of back data to play with. And so we run it on those scenarios. But to Aurora's point, this is only the second league in which we've run a progressive ladder against a four-way game mode. Remember that all the previous ones, everything previous to Summer League was 1v1 duels, which you can basically use something like Elo or something like True Skill off the shelf, mostly for ranking systems. When you get into four-way battles, things get a lot more hairy, and we have to start rolling some of our own code to control this. We still use True Skill for matchmaking, and we track True Skill under the hood to just sanity check some ideas. But very much we're sort of cutting new ground with this sort of progressive four-way gaming ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Extagon says, how will this affect entry threshold? I know the first tier ladder left a lot of people out of the event, and you had some plans to help with that. Entry will be there's going to be a longer intro tier, which we'll talk about this in a second. But the actual tournament play is probably going to be very similar to Summer League. In this particular league, we haven't extended tournament beyond. We haven't extended tournament sizes, I guess is the way that I want to say that. We're experimenting now with multi-day and spreading things out over a longer period of time. We want to release brackets earlier. We want people to know what their path is to success, and we'll talk about that more closer to November 13th. And that's kind of the experimenting that we're making. And then we can look at introducing offline tournament play and offline qualifiers and that sort of thing as we progress into future leagues. Okay, here's an example. We don't need to go through this, but it's in the blog post if you want it. Matchmaking updates. We made some tweaks, but not many tweaks. Matchmaking is still based on True Skill. We basically fixed a bug in how we were using True Skill to do matchmaking. So you should see a fair amount of variation now in games where you didn't see it before. So for example, if you were top 4, then most of your games were just played against the same 3 opponents repeatedly. And if you were bottom, it was a lot harder for you to get matchmaked.
Yeah, no, roll with it, own it, keep it. Yeah.
Matchmaked against other folks. So we had some people that were just not seeing games for a few hours on end. And so we've basically addressed that, but other than that, no real changes to the matchmaking system. It's all still True Skill based, which is open source, and you're welcome to go check out that code. Mm-hmm. Ladder tiers and rewards. So let's talk about this. So the lowest tier is actually the intro tier is what we're calling it, is where you start. When you enter the league, you're going to start at the intro tier, and then you have to earn 1,000 points in order to reach bronze. And once you are in bronze tier, that's fixed. That's your achievement. You've made it into bronze in Fall League. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's an achievement in and of itself. But it is going to take you 1,000 points to get there. So about 100 wins at +10. If you reach Bronze League, you will also receive the shiny tail customization, which I really like. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I feel it pairs nicely with the Bullet Bill-esque head there. It's a good combo.
Chael says, "What is True Skill?" Excellent question. True Skill. So there's two. I don't want to I'm not an expert in this. Let me preface this with this. So I very much encourage everyone to go research this themselves. But there are essentially two publicly known competitive ranking systems. One is ELO, which was born out of, I believe, like chess rankings, and is used in systems like Dota or League of Legends. They're all using sort of like team-based ranking systems, are typically a variation on ELO. TrueSkill is an alternative one that was developed by Microsoft and is used in individual team-based games. So I believe it was Halo was one of the first like competitive Halo or ranked Halo PvP was one of the first actual consumer gaming products to use something like TrueSkill for matchmaking. So it's an alternative to ELO, but what TrueSkill affords is the ability to have individuals that are playing as a team temporarily. So in a 1v1 scenario, you don't have that. ELO does not support that, but TrueSkill does. So you can have, you know, myself and Aurora could be on a 2v2 team, but we could have different rankings, and based on our placement, our ranking could go up and down independently of each other versus as a team. I think if you just go to, I'm not going to Google Live, that's a dumb idea.
If you hit up the wiki page, it'll be good times. Yeah.
There's an open source TrueSkill library that we're actually factually using under the hood. Silver. So silver tier requires 2,000 points and will earn you the happy head customization, which looks like this, which I also like very much. And this is another thing that we kind of were. This was always the case, but we're again trying to be more open. So we expect, you know, any Battlesnake player that has a Battlesnake with some basic, like, sort of standard avoidance and some sort of food heuristic baked on top of it should be able to reach silver by the end of the league, by the end of the competition, if not sooner. So that's kind of our target with this, and this has always been the case with the Silver League. So very much in and of itself, a success, something worth celebrating. And so if you hit silver, that's amazing, and you've done very well. And you'll be rewarded with the happy head customization unlock. Gold is 3,000 points. So you can see bronze is 1,000, silver is 2,000, gold is now 3,000. Same deal. You'll unlock the off-road tail customization, which is this tire, I believe it's like a motorcycle tire.
Oh yeah.
What does it say about me that I don't, like, almost didn't recognize this as
those vehicles that you move outside? It makes me think very much of like a Tron bike. Rear wheel. Yeah.
She also says the happy head is so. Yes, I agree. I like the cute ones. I really, really do. We have. I know that Darcy, our artist, has been like every week he just throws out new ideas for heads and tails, and some of the ones that he's working on are very, very cool. We're so excited about it. Hopefully we'll just show some of it off soon.
Yeah, it's hard to pick, and now you're just like coding in rotating heads as much as possible. Yeah.
It does kind of look like a gear. That it looks close. Maybe it's like a clockwork tail. Maybe that's how I'll think about it.
Oh, we need like a little like steampunk head now, something to pair up.
100%. Yeah, with like some forehead goggles and like top hat. Yeah.
Darcy's watching. This is how he likes to receive feedback and ideas, right? Unstructured. You have to watch every stream to hear what we've got. Yeah.
Snake punk.
Yeah.
We should call it the snake punk head. I love it.
I like it.
Okay, so so serious business. Serious gold tiering. So if you reach 3,000 points, you will enter the gold tier. At this point, your fall league experience is going to get fairly competitive. This is where the training wheels kind of come off a little bit, and the competition ramps up to its full potential. And the top 32 Battlesnakes in gold on November 12th will qualify for the gold tournament. So the gold tournament will consist of 32 Battlesnakes. That tournament will happen on November. They qualify on November 12th, but the tournament itself will happen the next day on November 13th. So they qualify when the tournament freezes. I'll talk about top 32 in a second because it's a little bit. It's a simple concept once you see the ladder working. But we'll talk about how it's going to work. Monocle, yes. Monocle snake, I love. Even a top hat snake would be great. I love how Evil and Bender, yeah. Just throw ideas at Darcy and make him figure it out, because he just lives for this, obviously. Platinum. Okay, so platinum is going to be the any Battlesnakes that have broken into the gold tier and then have also cleared 5,000 points. The top 32 Battlesnakes above 5,000 points will be considered platinum. So platinum's kind of defined virtually this league. This is different than previous leagues. Once you're in platinum, you have to fight to maintain platinum ranking. You can lose that ranking if you drop out of the top 32. This will make more sense visually once you see the ladder itself. It'll delineate all these things for you. But same idea. So the goal, any Battlesnakes that have over 5,000 points, the highest point counts, the top 32 highest point counts will count as platinum tier, and that will unlock for you the whale head customization, which is shown here.
Oh yeah.
Which is also, it's this eye, right? It's this eye that makes these things very cute. The Happy,
it's very cute.
Happy has the same one, although it's a little more dead in the Happy case. And the whale, yeah. And Elite is going to be the top 16 Battlesnake. So Elite is going to be restricted to just the top 16 in the ladder, and you have to clear 7,000 points in order to be considered for Elite. So you can kind of think of the ladder as, if you rank everyone based on how many points they have, Elite will be the top 16, Platinum will be the next 32, Gold Tournament will be the next 32 after that, and then you'll have Gold non-tournament players, then you'll have Silver, and then you'll have Bronze. So what we're doing is we're kind of fixing the tournament sizes, which was a really big problem that we had to handle for Summer League, was because Elite tier and Platinum tier were kind of defined virtually. We made a last minute adjustment to the number of snakes in, but with this new format, it fixes. We're fixing the tournament size for both for all three tiers. So Elite will be 16, Platinum will be 32, and Gold will be the next 32. Dazza says, how many games will my snake play? Your snake will play one game every 10 minutes, starting tomorrow at noon Pacific until noon Pacific on November 12th. Someone has done that math. It is not me, but you can also do that math yourself. Yeah. So games will fire every 10 minutes, and so it really depends on when you get your Battlesnake into play, and then how competitive it is. Everyone qualifying for Elite tier will get a medal. We had a lot of fun with these in Summer League. We like them a lot. We're going to do more medals. And then the note here is that customizations for reaching Bronze, Silver, and Gold, those will be granted right away. So the moment your Battlesnake breaks into Bronze, Silver, and Gold tiers, you'll receive those customizations. The Platinum and Elite tiers, because they are fluid, I guess is a better word for it, because they are defined based on the current ladder that day. Those rewards will be unlocked at the end of the competitive play on November 12th. Chael says, the whale is thinking I ate 4 tons of...
Yeah. I mean, there's something almost menacing about the whale. We also have orca, right? So we've got that's sort of like more gray whale-ish in my opinion. And then we have the friendly orca for our Pacific Northwestern Linus. And I don't know, I feel orca's a little bit more friendly. Whale is more menacing, but...
Yeah. I also really like lanternfish. Lanternfish is one of, and I even know that these things aren't called lanternfish, but I still kind of love it.
Yeah.
Chris says, in a perfect world, the continual matching is 144 games a day, so 7,000 games for the whole league. So it gives you an idea.
So a few games.
What you need. Yeah. It's so few. Yeah, it's nothing.
It's fine.
Okay, tournaments. So this means there'll be 3 tournaments held for the fall league. There'll be an Elite tournament, a Platinum tournament, and a Gold tournament. All tournament brackets will be determined and published on November 12th. So this again lines up with the idea of us being more transparent. We're not going to announce brackets morning of the tournament or 10 minutes before the tournament goes live or live on stream. We're going to intend to publish locked brackets on November 12th, so you can see what your journey to a first place championship looks like. understand what Battlesnakes you'll have to go through and who you'll be facing in your first groups. There's also a note here that because of the way that Elite and Platinum are defined, we might not get 32 or 16 into those groups, in which case we'll just introduce buys for the top snakes to get them through. But we feel pretty strongly that we're going to get full groups for those two tiers.
Yeah, come tournament day, we never have too few games to run.
Yeah. Hexagon says yes, it is terrifying to think. Yes. Live tournament broadcasts. So there are going to be 2 live tournament broadcasts. One on Saturday, November 13th, again 10 a.m. Pacific. That will be the group stages for the Platinum and Gold. It doesn't say Gold. It should say Gold. It does say Gold. Gold group stages, Platinum group stages. It's funny because I wrote this and I knew that it said that.
It's fine.
So Gold group stages, Platinum group stages are going to happen November 13th. I believe those will take us down to the either top 8 or top 16. I'll look for clarification from the booth. And then all finals will be held on November 20th. So November 20th is going to be just top tier play from every division. And so this, again, to answer, I believe Exagon was asking this earlier, like how can we incorporate more folks in the tournament? What we're experimenting with this time around is splitting the group stages away from the semifinals, quarterfinals, and finals and championship matches. I talked about this a little bit with Penelope on her stream a while back. The number one bottleneck to us running more folks in tournaments is actually streaming. It's stream time and caster time. If you like every game, it takes about 3 minutes to cast a game on average, plus analysis, and so call it, I don't know, a non-trivial amount of time per game. And so when you have 64 or 128 Battlesnakes to get through in a tournament, it turns out to be a long chunk of time to actually just live showcast that much. So what we're doing this time is we're experimenting with shorter streams split across multiple days. And then hopefully in the future league, we'll get into offline qualifiers and offline group stages and ways to incorporate ideally everyone can be involved in a tournament in some capacity. It's just unrealistic for us to have a live broadcast tournament that has 300 Battlesnakes in it. So that's really the barrier that we need to clear. And this is kind of one step moving in that direction. I don't know if there's anything I missed on that one, Aurora.
No, it sounds good. And I mean, I think it's an interesting meta and an interesting opportunity to have that break. Like if you have managed to get to the top 16s, which is what will be done on the 20th, then you've got some time maybe to think about your opponents and maybe do some like optimization work if you so desire. So I think that's an interesting twist and an interesting opportunity there, because definitely when you're playing sort of the larger games, the strategies can be so different, right? And you might want to approach particular snakes a particular way. So I think that should be good.
100%. And that's what we see. That's what we're seeing at the top tier play. And so we just want to make sure that we're facilitating that as well. Prizes. So if you qualify for the gold tournament, I believe it's top 4. Top 4 in the gold tournament will receive medals. Top 4 in the platinum tournament will receive medals. And then if you hit the top 16, if you hit elite tier, everyone in that tier gets a medal, gets a prize, and some of them get championship medals and this sort of thing. So you might get like top 4 or finalist. I believe they're called the finalists is what we actually call them. Yeah. Chris confirms top 4.
Yeah.
So you'll get, if you get top 4, you'll get a finalist medal. If you take home the championship, you'll get a champion medal.
And everyone in elite will also receive a medal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to crack open my code because I put this in like a couple days ago, so I should know this. This will also be on the prizes tab once the league is running, so you'll see that there.
Yeah. Do we have I wish we had a picture. Do we have a picture of the factual
the real medals?
Manufactured Summer League medals.
Oof.
Oh, there might be some. There we go.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Like, I mean, I haven't received a medal since like high school, but holding one of these in your hand, seeing them in the flesh is kind of thrilling. And my deepest dream is that every or as many medal winners as possible are able to spend the money and come to the next in-person event we have, so they can wear them with pride.
Yeah. Greg Lever says I got my summer medal today. Amazing. I love it.
You're wearing it right now, right?
How does it, I assume you're just wearing it to watch the stream, right? That's what I would do.
Yeah. Penelope joined us. Penelope, we're doing a review of Fall League. Don't worry, it's all in the blog post. Just got published today. So you've missed nothing important and a lot of stupid stuff that Brad and I said. So
you've just missed about 53 minutes of memes, so you're good.
We all know that that's the part Penelope cares about. Let's not pretend this isn't hurtful.
Jail says, are a lot of the elite tier open source? No, a lot of the elite tier are not. That's where, like, at that super highly competitive tier, you'll see a lot more closed sourced algorithms because a lot of folks are doing fairly complex things to win at that level. Where you will see more open source, it's kind of like in the bronze, silver, and sort of like early gold, you'll see more open source snakes in that solution. What tends to happen is, I know, I'll use Pruse as an example. Pruse is a top tier elite player. They have rewritten their Battlesnake maybe 3 or 4 times, and every time they rewrite, they actually open source their previous version, just to make that available. And I think they yank some of the code out of it to just make it not like you can't just run it raw. So you will see some open source snakes that have competed in top tier, but it'd be difficult to find any that are currently competing, if that makes sense. Penelope says all my code for my elite snake was and also there's a lot of streams. So I know I think I saw Dr. Polar Human in the chat. They were also an elite tier competitor and doing most of their coding on stream as well. So you'll get bits and pieces and code snippets and ideas of algorithms from live streams, and obviously strongly encourage that as well.
Pillars of the community for all the ways that you share.
Polar Human says I got mine for Elite Group yesterday. Amazing. I also assume everyone's just wearing medals at this point. Awesome. Okay, so this is what the medals look like. These are the summer ones that got mailed out. The fall leagues are going to look very similar, probably with an orange and an orange motif, and you've seen sort of our designs for that. That's it. Oh, Battlesnakes that are developed and entered by a team. We do have teams that play Battlesnake. There are Battlesnakes. There are multiple Battlesnakes that are competitive and built by multiple people. A good example of this is like All I Need Is 60 Milliseconds is a team snake. Neater Snake, which that's not its real name, but I'm unable to say Neater Snake's real name. Neater Snake is built by I believe a team of 2. So there's a couple of teams in there. But if you compete as a team, that's great. I believe there's only 1 medal on the table, so sorry about that.
It was a generous ribbon. You can pop both your heads in there. It's fine.
Yeah, just walk around. Yeah, maybe we'll supersize the ribbon just to make that easier. But yeah, that's everything for Fall League. Do you want to show us? I'll pull my screen.
Yeah.
And you can
I mean, like, this is my harsh confession, is that I myself am not yet registered for Fall League, which is a shame. I don't know what we're gonna do in the competition without my random move snake with minimal avoidance. So I figured I can register. Everyone, walk us through it because it's time. You can register. You should do it. You want to get those points with the new systems, the 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. You want to start collecting those points now. So get your Battlesnake in. So I can't help but be attracted by this register now for Fall League in the top left-hand corner. This button, high quality. I can't help but click it. It's a miracle I've resisted till now. So it's
probably because it's so well coded. I don't know. I just throw that out there. I don't know.
It's because I'm looking at it instead of clicking. Yeah, it's fair. So Fall League games start in a day tomorrow. I'm going to pre-register right now. So this just gets me into the event. I think I'm an experienced developer. I'm going to go there. I'm going to say that. Yeah. And I'm just programming by myself. And I have definitely read the Battlesnake Code of Conduct many a time, but do so if you have not yourself. So now I am registered for Fall League. This is good for the event. I am registered, but I do need to select and enter my Battlesnake. Important key step. So I am going to enter my basic strats, my boy. There we go. And pop them in the arena. So games aren't going to start running until tomorrow, but basic strats is ready, is warmed up, is ready. If I want to change my Battlesnake at any point, maybe I've been working on something on the side and want to swap it up, I can pull basic strats out. Do know that a new Battlesnake entering the arena, though, will start you from the beginning again. So be cautious about whether or not you're popping your Battlesnake in and out. But my basic strats Battlesnake is now registered, and starting tomorrow, games will run, and they're there for you to compete against. I think this covers registration. Yeah,
I think this was one of our most requested. It's kind of a silly feature, but like it's one of our most requested ones where folks wanted to enter their Battlesnakes before the league started, so that when the ladders kicked off, their Battlesnakes would be in the first games that run, which totally makes sense from like a ladder climbing perspective. And so like super happy that we were able to get that out there. And I think there's already like over 50 or 60 Battlesnakes that are ready to go tomorrow. So games are gonna start out hard, and they're gonna, that the competitive level is just gonna skyrocket right away.
Totally.
Chelsea says, did Battlesnakes have to be public in the tournament? Absolutely not. So in fact, encourage you to not make them public so that other folks can't necessarily run games against your Battlesnakes while the tournament's going on.
Yeah, public Battlesnakes are primarily for running like ad hoc games. So if I go, play game at the top here, it's whether or not it'll pop up in like a random or if I can search. So that is what public will get you.
Yeah. Can I enter multiple snakes? No, unfortunately, you must choose one to represent you. You must choose your champion and enter them in. Mm-hmm. Penelope says, "I am still converting. Am I still converging neural networks?" Yes, absolutely. Yes,
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll work out.
And just registering, Dr. Pilgrim. That's fine. Register. Get your Battlesnake starting. Like get those base points. Just because you might not remove your Battlesnake for the competition doesn't mean you can't continue to push new code, right? So definitely we encourage that. Watch your games, watch as the weeks go by, tweak and keep like modifying and changing your code. Keep it fresh. That's the way to do a league.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think I really like watching Penelope's streams over Summer League. Watching the week over week iterations, I think, is really interesting. And then also like Polar Human was also doing, I caught a couple of their streams and they were like reviewing games online and being like, look, okay, this is a top 32 platinum tier game and I'm losing for these reasons. So here's how I'm going to tweak my algorithm to address this. And I think that's a really fun way to approach this. You can still improve your snake until a few minutes before finals. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You can deploy your Battlesnake as much as you want. Games will fire every 10 minutes automatically, whether you're ready or not. And they'll always run against your live server, wherever that is. Mm-hmm. I think that's it for covering the blog post. Check out Fall League. You can go. I'll put the URL back on screen. Play.battlesnake.com/fall-league will get you there. You can also just go to Battlesnake. There's 1,000,001 links there that will get you to the right place. Penelope, at what point do you change the snake's name to just be "this does work"?
Yeah, you're gonna have to admit that eventually.
Chelsea says, "How will I choose between Hetty and Cornelius?" Obviously, the answer is branding. Whichever one looks cooler. Yeah. Clearly,
is Hetty? Is that like? Or is Hetty like a Hetty Lamar kind of reference or something? Getting your obscure lady techs out there, because that would make me very happy.
I love it.
Yeah.
We'll just assume that's what it is. That works for us.
Yeah. Although Cornelius, that's a name with gravitas.
Feels like a corn snake reference. I thought snake had to be public and misunderstood. Yeah. So public snake is we should add some more information to that. Public snake is if you want other players to be able to include your snake in a game. So it's mostly for playing with friends or playing with colleagues. A lot of folks in our community run their own side tournaments and run their own battles with their like with their various friend groups, and so public snakes is the way to currently do that. Shale says it wasn't before, but it is now. So there you go, confirmed.
There we go. That's pandering to the devs. Will always get you something. Mostly just gushing.
Oh, what? Shale's already in bronze tier? Oh, how did that even happen? Oh man.
Where these customization unlocks come from? Don't ask questions. Just enjoy them. Questions. Yeah.
That's the real question. Is Penelope going to commit to a customization this league or not? Is it still just going to be straight mid-grade default?
Classic default head, yeah. Games Penelope start at noon PST. Sorry.
Yeah, noon tomorrow. Nessagraph says some of my snakes are public to play. Yeah. So again, like public snakes, you should only really check that box if you have a specific intent. But it's also worth mentioning that like Nessagraph has a number of public snakes that are kind of like different ideas or previous algorithms that they've used that aren't necessarily competing at a league level that you can always run games against. Cruise also has a couple sort of like I don't really call them like snakes that have been intentionally, had some pieces of intelligence removed from them in order and
slightly nerfed. Yeah.
Slightly nerfed. Yeah, that's the way to put it. Cruise has some nerfed snakes that are public that you can play against. I believe Pretzel has one too. There's a handful of public snakes poking around. We should do more to make that discoverable, but they're out there. Yeah, and Penelope says, does this work while original and does this work while MCTS are public? Yeah, I love that. I love the idea of like as you iterate and move beyond past algorithms to make the previous ones available in public. So that like obviously you can still play against them, but then let the community play against them as well. It creates really good gut check or really great ways to gut check your snake or specific algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right. And points for a good naming scheme always. There's a progression. That's
yeah. I mean that's always the case. Okay, I think that's it for us today. Check it out. Play.battlesnake.com/fall league. We're really excited about this one. Lots of tweaks, lots of UI changes as well that will roll out tomorrow, so you'll see that as well. We're really excited about that. Yeah.
Cool.
That's it. I'm Brad. That's Aurora.
That's me.
Thanks for watching and hanging out and asking questions.
Yeah. Have a great fall league, everyone.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
And a wonderful Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll see y'all later.